So, hey guys, it's Bats here, and today we are finally back with another drug story. Alright, I finally have all of the equipment necessary to start making videos again. I finally got a new computer, I got a new microphone, all that jazz. So, we're back at it. I'm hoping to get back to uploading videos this summer. And yeah, so without any further ado, you already read the title. Let's just get into the story. So, my first time trying Robo 30s. Now, if you guys know anything about me, then you know that DXM has, for a long time, been my drug of choice, or at least in my top 3. And, for the most part, most of my DXM career, I've been doing Polyester X, which is Delsum, because there's no good HBR products in the stores around me, and I don't have a credit card. I can't order shit online. There's methods, but it's too much work, to be honest. But so this story took place, I think it was probably November, late November, it might have been late October or early November, somewhere around there. But RoboTablets had basically just came out, and so had Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So me and one of my friends, we had a little snipers only 1v1 bet that if I lost the 1v1, he got to send a dildo to my house, and he had to he gets to record my reaction on a Discord call. And if I won, then he would send me Robo 30s. Well, I tried my fucking ass off. I was sweating, doing the YY, no scope, cross map, 360, fucking teabag. Dude, I was going cuckoo. I was slide canceling all over the place. He couldn't even see me. I was like the fucking Flash, dude. I was like Sonic in that bitch. And, bro, I whooped his ass, and so, he goes on, screen records on Discord, I watch him buy the Robo 30s, and I get the tracking information, and then about a week goes by, I'd say. I'm waiting for these Robo 30s, and they finally fucking show up. I was checking the mail, every day for, half a week. I gave it a couple of days, just, because that was, the average time that it takes or whatever. It takes way longer to get over to where I live, though, because they make them in, fucking Texas. But, I was checking the mail, every day for half a week until finally, one day, lo and behold, there's this little package in there, and I put my hand in to grab it, and you could feel the pill bottle in there, and I was like, oh, yes, sir, let's go! So I nearly sprinted back up my hill and back into my house, and so I sit down and I'm hype as fuck, and I'm texting my, one of my best friends. I've talked about him on this on this channel before. His name's Elliot. And I was texting him. I think we already had plans to hang out that day, but I hit him up and I was like, dude, I got the Robo 30s. You gotta get over here right fucking now, bro. And so, he comes over, and we're just, we're chilling. We were in my old studio, when I had my old computer and all that shit, and we were just chilling, working on some music, and, smacking the vape and whatnot. I think he had alcohol. I don't think we had weed this day, but, and yeah, I offered him some Robo 30s, but for some reason he didn't want to try them. I don't know, he's always been a little apprehensive towards DXM. Most people are, but it's just, I don't know, it's not fair. People need to give DXM more of a chance. It's such a good drug. Honestly, if there's any over-the-counter drug you're gonna do DXM. Don't do Benadryl. That shit's trash. DXM is the way to go. It's, and honestly, as far as dissociatives go, it's probably one of the favorite, my favorite that I've tried. But anyway, back on topic. So, we're sitting here, we're just chilling, working on music and stuff. And eventually, I decide that I'm gonna pop some of these Robo 30s. So I go ahead and I count out, I think it was 240 milligrams, which is, or wait, what was it again? Hold on, I need to do the math. Hold up, boys, I'll be right back. So, yeah, I had 240 milligrams of DXM in my hands, which is about 8 Robo 30s, and I pop them, and I usually take them in increments of 4, so I'll take 4, swallow it down with some soda or something, and then take the other 4, swallow it down, and it was the smoothest DXM consumption experience I had ever had up until that point, because before it was really disgusting cough syrup, or not that disgusting, but still pretty disgusting cough syrup. So, this was a big upgrade for me. And, just having all of that, not having to have all that liquid in my stomach, it was really nice. And then this is where one of the big like major differences starts coming in from like other types of DXM. So at this point, like I said, I was basically only doing polyester X, and polyester X is about half as strong as HBr, and Robo 30s, which is freebase DXM, is about 33% stronger than HBr, which means that this dose right here was like more than like 73%, it was 73% stronger than any DXM I had ever done at that point. And it was very apparent because it was like maybe 30 minutes and I was starting to come up pretty hard. And it wasn't like I didn't get nauseous or anything. It was actually like a pretty, like, it was a smooth but fast come up. And it did just kind of come out of nowhere, though. But, you know, it's like slowly everything just, like, starts kind of, like, tingling as it starts to, like, as you start to, like, dissociate. And, you know, you, like you can't really feel your lungs anymore. And then like your vision starts like getting like really like blurry, starts getting like tracers and stuff, and sometimes they can be like colorful tracers, but they're usually just like really blurry tracers. And then you start like your vision starts, like your depth of field, it's like the FOV slider just got turned up on your life. That's the best like description I could give for it. Like like everything just looks like so whacked out, like it's just super zoomed out, and it's so weird. And I remember like getting up and trying to go to the bathroom, and I was like starting to robo walk. I almost like fell into the wall while I was trying to go to the bathroom. But you know, eventually it was probably like maybe an hour or two into my experience before my friend Elliot had to go home. And so then it was just me, and so I decided to go into my room and listen to some tunes, because, you know, I know how to, you know, I already kind of knew my favorite way to do DXM was to just sit in a dark room, not move, and listen to music. That is the best way to do DXM. If you're gonna do DXM is like an alone night drug, at least in higher doses. Like if you're going for like third to fourth plat, then you need to do it at night in complete darkness with music. That's the best way to do it, because then hold up, wait. So anyway, back to what I was saying there. So yeah, the best way, personally, in my opinion, to do DXM is to do it that way, and that's exactly what I did. So I went into my room, turned off the lights, I started bumping I don't think I had a DXM playlist yet, but I definitely, like, I had, like, playlists of music already, like, made. So I was just bumping some music, absolutely vibing, and it wasn't, like, completely pitch dark in my room, because the sun was still, like going down, so there was still, like, some light coming in, and I could see, like, you know, like a little bit of light in my room, and then just like everything like around that, it was like I don't know how to explain this. It literally, it felt like I just like had teleported outside. Like literally, it like anything that was like surrounded, like that was in like pitch black, it seemed like I could see bushes like through it. Or especially like if I closed my eyes, like it would just literally be like I teleported outside, like completely, because then like there's not even the like light of my room. It's just like everything just it's such a weird thing how, like, I don't know, it looked like such a familiar environment. Like it looked like, you know, like the backyard of my house, but if my house wasn't there. It was like I went back in time to a point in time where my house didn't exist, and I was just laying in the middle of the fucking field or something. And then I start getting that little feeling of just being like pulled up, you know? It's when like it's such a like I don't know, it's a very good feeling. It's hard to explain. It's not like, I mean, it's kind of euphoric, but it's weird. It's like you can like even like kind of feel like the wind going past your face and stuff, and it's so weird because the visuals coincide with it. Like when it feels like I started floating up, like the visuals, it looked like I was floating off of the ground, and you know, then I like float above like the tree line or whatever, and then like I started like kind of like going forward, and then started going up again, and then I was just like completely in space, and it was such a like every time it never ceases to amaze me how that feels. It's such a good feeling. And at this point, this is probably one of my strongest DXM trips that I had ever had. And one of the next visuals that I remember is when the lights were on, because a couple times I would get up to get like water or something or go to the bathroom. Whenever the lights were on, like all of the like walls and especially the ceiling would like, they have this like flowy motion, like they're flowing downwards. Like it's kind of like, you know, it's just like weird, like it's kind of liquidy, but not really. It's weird. And other times it would be like flashing like black and white dots on the ceiling, like in my vision. And I still have no idea to this day what the fuck that is, but it's weird. And another, this is a visual that I literally only had like one time that I can recall, and it was this trip. But apparently, like, it seems to be a pretty common, like, dissociative effect of, like, Ket, and apparently other people have it on DXM too. I just, for some reason, never really got it that much. But, like, it was like, my vision was, like, there, and then, like, it was splitting into, like, squares, and they were, like, churning and shit. But I could still, like, see stuff, but it was, like, my vision was made out of, like, fucking blocks, and the blocks were just being, like, moved around and shit. It was so weird. There's I think I'll put like a couple of like trip replication like videos that are on YouTube in the description if you guys want a better idea of what this stuff kind of looks like. It's not completely accurate, but it's as close as you can really get. But anyway, but yeah, no. So for basically the entire rest of this night, I was just chilling and listening to music, enjoying all of these fucking wonky effects. And it was a really, really good trip. Like, it was probably, at that point, this is when, like, I was really starting to fall in love with DXM at this point. Like, it was very quickly becoming my favorite drug, and Robo30s really just solidified it for me that DXM was going to become my favorite drug. So, yeah. And, then, the next morning... next morning comes around, I haven't slept at all, and I'm starting to feel like I'm kind of coming down. Now, everything, it has this, like, when you start coming down, it has this weird, like, cloudy, like, look to it. It's like a dream, how, like, like how when you, like, think about a dream, or, like, when you're in a dream, it's kind of like it has this, like, foggy, like, your vision has this foggy outline around it, and everything's just, like, like, dreamy, But... that's what it kind of looked like, but the, like, body sensation and, like, the feeling of floating was just basically gone, and I wanted that back. I didn't want to, be sober, and, but I also didn't want to, like, go too far, because I was still testing my limits with DXM, and I didn't really know how far I could go, so I just decided I was going to play it safe and take 5 more, which is 150 milligrams of DXM freebase, and... so, yeah, I popped these, and I think I took all 5 at once because it was just 5. Usually I take 4, but if it's like 5, I'm just going to take all 5 at once. But, so yeah, I take that, and then, like, 20-30 minutes later, and I'm already, like, coming up again. That was the best part about RoboTabs, is just, like, it comes on pretty fucking fast, and it just, like, smacks you in the face. But yeah, no, so... I was like, it wasn't as intense of a trip as the first one, but it was definitely still, like, an enjoyable, like, experience. It was definitely still an enjoyable trip. And I remember, like, trying to play video games on it. Like, I hopped on Discord, and I was so fucking cross-eyed, I couldn't, like, I barely read anything or, like, see anything. I tried to play Call of Duty with my friends, and I just fucking sucked dick. Like, I couldn't play for shit. But it's weird, because, like, usually I get really fucking mad at Call of Duty. Like, I used to try real hard in Call of Duty, and if I was losing, I would be so pissed. But when I'm on DXM, I don't give a shit. It's a video game. What the fuck do I care? I'm so dissociated from, like, any feelings that this game gives me. I don't care. So, I was just getting shit on casually, but I didn't care. I was having fun. I was vibing. I just like watching watching the screen move. But... and yeah, no, but so for the most of this day, I think I kept the lights on, but and that was very interesting as far as the visuals go, because, like, so there's this ceiling light in the middle of my room, and it started like drifting away. It was like literally it was like it was moving to a different section of the wall. It was so fucking weird. And like I could follow it. Like if I turned my head and followed it, it would still be moving there. It wouldn't go back until it like reached the end of the wall. And then like sometimes the ceiling, it would be like breathing, but like really fucking deep. Like it was literally like this, like the ceiling was about to come down and like collapse on me sometimes. Like it looked like it was about to fold in on itself. But it was just so weird. It was like, I don't know, it was just like pulsating, and it's just fucking, but it was so fucking cool to look at. It was like, what the fuck, yo? And it gives you such a just a rush of serotonin, and just like the actual like body feeling is so fucking good. It's like it's literally like magical. It's like that's the best way I could describe it. That shit is magical. But basically I was just chilling on like probably like I probably got to like low to mid third plat the first trip, or like maybe mid to high third plat. No, probably like mid third plat. And then this day when I redosed again, I was at around like low, like mid to high second plat probably. And then it was getting later in the night, and like I wasn't really like coming down yet. I mean, I could tell I was about to, but I was not fucking with any of that bullshit. So I said, all right, yes sir, here we go, popping 5 more. So I threw another 5 down the hatch, and we were booling. We were ready. So now, of course, it's nighttime. My cousin gets home from work. I talk to him, like, just barely being able to fucking form sentences and shit. And, yeah, so, eventually he leaves me alone, and I turn off the lights, and it's back to the good old nighttime tripping. And, it was so weird. So like of course it comes on pretty fast. It's like 20-30 minutes when the come up started, and it's over by like 45 minutes to an hour maximum, and you're just in it. And so I was sitting here, and just like it was like it felt like I could see through my eyelids, basically. Like like I could see like my room and like the outline of stuff in my room, and it looked like such a familiar environment, but it just looked slightly off. And it was also in like, it was like black and white kind of. I don't know if it was black and white, but it was like something like that. It was similar to that. And it just it was so weird to me, because it seemed like it looked like my room, but it was like a little out of proportion. And then I started like floating around again, and it felt like my room was just like it was like the room was floating in a void or something. Like it felt like if I opened the door to my room, that there would just be nothing there, and it would just drop into space. Like that's what it felt like. And it's so weird, like, because this is something that I got a lot when I did DXM, is like feeling like you could see through your eyes. And I think it's because you're like, if you're in a really familiar environment, and you are depriving your brain of like visual input, then it starts just filling in the blanks for you. I used to know a blind guy, and he said that sometimes he would wake up and it would kind of be like that, where you could like kind of like see through your eyes, because there's like because you're like the surroundings are familiar, and your brain fills in the blanks. But yeah, it's such an interesting experience. And of course I had all of the usual common effects of music enhancement, and the floating, and all the good old visuals. But I was starting to get like towards like higher third plat, and this is where the visuals started getting like, this is when they start changing. Usually the visuals on like second plat to early third plat or whatnot, they're usually not very colorful. They're usually like mostly black and white. But in my experience, at least, it seems like the visuals get a little more colorful once you get to this stage. And they're very weird, because sometimes they're like geometric patterns almost, and other times they're just like really like wavy, like liquidy, just like waves or whatever of like weird colors and shit. And I started like, I remember one of the most like distinct like, this is like a new feeling for me. I don't recall this happening to me up until this point on DXM. This is the first time I got this effect, but it definitely wasn't the last. But it felt like there was a pressure on my forehead, and then it would start, like, pressing in, and then it felt like the top of my head just started, like, peeling away from the rest of my head. But it didn't, like, hurt or anything. It actually felt kind of pleasant, and it felt really weird because it was, like, stretching. It was like playing with fucking, like, Play-Doh or something, just, like, stretching it out and shit. And eventually it felt like I completely disconnected, and then my head, like, part of my head was just flying off in a different direction, and the rest of my body was right here. And then it seemed like the rest of my body just started to follow suit and just started fucking melting. And it was so fucking weird. But it, like, it didn't seem to, like, it didn't seem to last super long. Like, I split apart for a little bit, and then I felt like I was just, like, like, it felt like I was just, like, spread out over, like, a large distance of area. But then it felt, then it seemed like my body kind of, like, came back together a little bit. I still had a little bit of that pressure in my head. And sometimes you can get, like, waves of euphoria on DXM, where it's just, like, and it literally feels like a wave. It literally feels like a liquid, like wave of euphoria that just washes over you. And it can be really intense sometimes, but it wasn't that bad this time. But we're gonna get to some very interesting trips later on in the next episode of this little part here, because I don't really have much left to say about this trip. I mean, I just kind of laid around, and those were all the effects that I can really remember. DXM trips, I didn't really usually do anything on them, so all there is to talk about is the effects, really. But I was absolutely in love with RoboTablets at this point, and next time it gets fucking crazy, because next time, we're going to be talking about my first time having a full ego death on DXM. So, if you guys want to see that, then make sure you leave a like on this video, comment down below, and let me know you guys want to see more of my content and support me. Subscribe to the channel. It would be fucking amazing if we could get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be a dream come true. You guys are amazing. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who, like, has been sending me comments and, like, checking on me and, like, asking me where I am and if I'm okay. You guys are the fucking best. Like, actually, I don't have a huge fan base, but I could not be more thankful for the fan base that I do have. You guys are amazing people. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay zooted, stay lifted. Peace. On me, walking around the store, I bossy. Take a picture, I'm a post paparazzi. I've been drinking, moving like a zombie. 3 bands on me, walking around the store, I bossy. Take a picture, I'm a post paparazzi. I've been drinking, moving like a zombie.